Hello everybody, welcome to lesson 7E. In the next preview assignment and in the next class, you'll need to be able to calculate a credit utilization rate. We're going to jump straight to the formula. A credit utilization rate. It's with your total credit card balances divided by the total credit card limits. If you haven't already looked at question 1 or beyond, this is a good time to hit pause and to go ahead and do at least questions 1 through 4, and then come back and we'll do them together. So now looking at questions 1 through 4, your credit utilization rate gives the percentage of the available credit that you are using. And even look back at the formula. It's the total of your credit card balances divided by the total of your credit card limits. So what is the highest possible credit utilization rate? Express your answer as a percentage. Well, if you've got a maximum divided by a maximum, that's going to be 1. And 1 written as a percentage is 100%. What's the lowest possible credit utilization rate? Well, if you're using none of your total amount available, that would be 0. But if Darren's credit utilization rate is 60%, what percentage is still available to him? Well, if 100% is the most he can get, and it is currently 60, that means 40% is still available to him. And finally, what do you think would be a credit utilization rate that is high enough to make you worry that you're borrowing too much? And this is where you need to put down your personal number. I can tell you that later we're going to see numbers around 30%, but maybe you personally would be good with 50%. You put a number down and let's keep talking about credit utilization rate. This is a good time to go ahead and hit pause again. At least pause and do question 5. You might want to go ahead and do 5, 6, 7, and 8, but at least get an answer for question 5 and then come back and we'll do this together. Sheila, let me get a color. Sheila has a total credit card balance of $600. Balance. She has a total credit card limit of $2,000. She would calculate her credit utilization rate as follows. 600 over her 2,000. When dividing and converting to a percentage, it's 30%. If Sheila charges another $300 to her cards, that means her balance is going to now be $900. So what is her new credit utilization rate? So changing the numerator to 900, I'm now going to take 900, divide it by 2,000. I'm getting 45 hundredths. When I multiply by 100, that gets us to our credit utilization percentage. Moving on to number 6. If Sheila opens a new credit card so that her total credit limit is now $3,000 with a credit card balance of $600, what's this new credit utilization rate going to be? Now she has 600 out of her 3,000. We can play around with some of the zeros, and we're going to get 6 divided by 30 and multiplied by 200, multiplied by 100. I'm getting 0.2 or 2/10 times 100, and I'm getting that the new rate would be 20%. In the previous problem, the credit card balances and the credit card limits are both known, and it's not just the previous problem, the previous problems, and the credit utilization rates were known. However, sometimes the credit utilization rates and the credit card limits are known, and the credit card balances are unknown. That leads us to questions 7 and 8. So if you haven't paused already to complete, attempt, try, make a great effort at number 7, go ahead and hit pause and then come back and we'll walk through number 7 together. Looking at number 7, it mentions that some credit experts recommend that to improve your credit score, you should keep your credit utilization rate below 30%, less than 30%. But suppose Norman has credit cards with a total limit, the limit of $1,700. That's the maximum amount on his cards. He wants to keep his credit utilization rate below 30%. What's the highest credit card balance? What's the highest balance, what we don't know, that he can have so that we're going to, and I'll go ahead and put it equal to 30%, but keep in mind he wants to keep his credit utilization rate below 30%. So we'll need something that is below whatever answer we get. If you don't like me putting the equal signs here, we can always put that this value needs to be less than the 0.30. Either way you go, we're going to need to multiply both sides by 1,700. Those become 1, the value of 1, and our x needs to be less than, so I'm typing in 0.3 times 1,700, and I'm getting $510. So write down however you want to choose to write this down, like the most it could be is 509 or $509.99. However you want to write it, we can go up to 510, but at 510 is when we are exactly the 30%. Write some form of an answer and write down notes for this problem, and then join me at number 8. Question number 8 has a little bit of background here that says sometimes the credit utilization rates and the credit card balances are known, and then the credit card limits are unknown. So let's look at number 8. Betsy has a total credit card balance of $750. That's her balance. She has a credit utilization rate of 60%. So what is her total credit card limit? Here's a way to get started on our equation. I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by x to get him out of the denominator. And that leaves us with 750 is worth 0.0 times x. We'll divide both sides by our 60 hundredths to get a final answer of, I'm grabbing my calculator, I'm typing in 750 divided by 0.6, and I get this number. And to answer the question, what is her total credit card limit? It would be the $1,250. This completes Lesson 7E. Check your calendar to see if you have more lessons to complete before this week's deadline, and I'll either see you on another lesson very soon or one at the beginning of next week.